What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 1 of Unleashed. My name is Justin. For those of you that don't know me, I'll go through all of that in a moment, but this is episode 1. I've decided to put together a little bit of a YouTube show, maybe podcast. We'll see where it takes us. We want to talk about all things fitness, mindset, lifestyle, pretty unscripted. We're just going to go through a series of topics over a new one each week. And hopefully you guys are going to get some value from it. If you've got things that you want to specifically discuss, then please leave a comment. You're probably going to hear different things in the background. One will be my mini schnauzer, Kylo. I am recording this from my house. And so, things will happen. And that leads me into, why should you tune into this show? Why should you listen to someone like me? Well, let's go through it. I'm 44. I'm a father of two kids. Been married to my amazing wife for over 20 years. And I'm literally living what you guys are living, all right? I'm not, a vlogger or a person that lives on their laptop and travels around the world and makes content. I'm not a fitness influencer yet. We're going to talk about that today. I'm just a regular person like you who wants to get the most out of their time on this earth. And I believe that the best way to do that is by focusing on your fitness. I am also a fitness business owner. So I do own a bricks and mortar, shall we say, a studio. I also do online programming and coaching as well. So I do know a little bit in this space. I do spend my life in this space. And it is all about that balancing act between running a business, keeping fit, family. And, if there was anything that I have learned from my clients and possibly from you guys as well, all right, is that it's about that juggling act. It's about that mental load. It's about ticking all those boxes. Sometimes it gets hard, totally. Sometimes it's easier than other times. Sometimes there's so much information out there. Where do we start? And sometimes it's just a scary space to get into. And that's what we're going to talk about today, because I believe the number one thing that's holding you back from unleashing your greatness, living your best life, becoming the best version of yourself is your perception of what happens in a gym. And there are various different reasons. I'm here to blow that myth away, because for so many people I talk to, they're worried about not fitting in. I'm not going to fit in. I'm going to feel out of place. And where does that come from? Where does that perception come from for people? So probably from social media for a lot of the time, okay? It's interesting how many people won't talk to their friends, peers, about their experience, but they'll go to their phone or their iPad, the internet. And the internet only shows us one thing, all right? It shows the glitz, the glamour, the extremely beautiful people, which a lot of people will use the term aspirational, as in, like, that's the goal, that's what we want to achieve. And to a certain degree, that's probably correct. We all join a gym subconsciously because we either want to look better or we want to feel better. They're the two things. And so there is that there as well. But I would also, to a certain extent, call bullshit on it, because you're looking at the top 0.1% of people generally in the world. Most of your friends and family and everyday people like you, like myself, are not necessarily documenting their fitness journey. Some of us do. I do, because it's my job. That's my job. Okay. I document it. I enjoy fitness. I'm here to inspire people to live their best life, to become their best version through exercise. And so I do document the things that I do. But everything that I document is done for a purpose. And the problem is that you're probably looking at all the influences, and My question to the influencers that may listen to this, they may get a copy of this through Instagram when we cut this up, who knows, is what are you actually influencing? You shouldn't be called an influencer. You should be called a brand ambassador, because at the end of the day, every person that is on there that calls themselves an influencer is trying to partner with some brand and get paid. They're not trying to influence you to go and join a gym, a studio, start exercising, start focusing on your health. They're only in it for themselves, the likes, the loves, and ultimately the dollars that come with that. And they might make it look like it's very glamorous, but it's probably not as glamorous as it thinks. It takes work to be an influencer. I'm not doubting that, but what are you actually influencing? When it comes to health and fitness in Australia, guys, less than 20% of the adult population actually have a regular routine that involves health and fitness. And that's scary. That number is so low. 1 in 5 actually exercise regularly for whatever reason. Now, I believe that our job as fitness professionals, if you can call yourself that, Mr. Influencer, is our job is to actually increase that number, is to get that number up. And how can we do that? Well, we're not going to do it by parading around in our little skimpy clothes, doing movements that probably took all day to record. I was watching this one, okay? I saw this one recently, and I'm not gonna name names or anything like that, but you know, very attractive lady in her booty shorts and her crop top, training at a really fantastic facility. Well, this was recorded at a fantastic facility here in Australia, and the movement that she did was like a complex. So she was laying on her back with a barbell over the top of her chest, and without putting her hands down, she basically rolled herself into a squat position, did some presses, did some snatches, did some overhead squats, etc., then rolled back down. And she called it movement of the day. Go and give it a go. Now, firstly, I'm going to call you on this and say, number one, how many takes did it actually take you to do that? Number two, the level of mobility, strength, and all that, fantastic. But 99.9% of the population aren't going to be able to perform what this lady did. So why put it on there? It's like you're there to show off yourself rather than actually inspire people to take up health and fitness. And that is where I believe the falling down is because the gap that people perceive between where they are and what is on social media is so huge that it all just becomes too overwhelming. We get too anxious and we don't do anything. Rather than make ourselves look like a fool, potentially, I'm going to get to that in a minute, we would rather do nothing than look like we don't fit in. And so influencers, if you're out there, please influence for good. Okay, or rename your tag or whatever it may be. You know, it's like everyone that's got a ... fit is all of a sudden selling a program. They're not half of them aren't qualified, and if you have a look at their actual feeds, it's just them posing. Where's the actual influence to increase the number of people that are focusing on their health and fitness, rather than you just focusing on your bank balance? So that's just me calling out a few fitness influencers right now. But the perception of that, your perception is that that's what a gym looks like. And I'm here to blow that out of the water and say it's not. And while there may be a very, very, very small portion of people that are at that point, the majority of people that you see when you walk into a gym, when you walk into a group training studio, a CrossFit studio, a group training facility, whatever it may be, a boutique facility, they're the local mums, dads, young professionals, double income, no kids, working parents that know that they need to get their 45 minutes at least 3 to 4 times a week for their own mental health, their own physical health, and so that they can actually get through and do all the other things in life that they need to get to, whether it be getting the kids off to school and looking after kids, whether it be performing at their job, whatever other parts of their life that there are, is all enhanced by exercise. Exercise is the catalyst. We'll talk about that in another episode later on. But this is where we need to blow this perception out of the water. The difference between those people and you is just that they've been going at it a little bit longer. All right. They were once you. They were once that person that walked in for the very, very first time. They've now just stuck at it, and they're further along in their fitness journey than where you are. But they were exactly like you at one point. And they will encourage you, support you, motivate you, help you out, because they know where you're at because they've been there. And I think that that's really, really important to understand, is the perception you see on social media of the people that are in a fitness facility and what they're actually doing is so far from the truth most of the time. And I encourage you to walk in and actually take a look. The majority of us that are in there, yes, we've got our wobbly bits. Yes, we've got our baggy tees on. All right. Most of us are keeping our shirt on. We're just everyday people that know that exercise is going to help us out as we progress through life. So the other thing on social media that I wanted to quickly touch on today is the number of people that go to social media asking for recommendations of what fitness facility they should join. Now, don't get me wrong, social media is a great tool, a great library, but it's full of opinions. And what you need to do is you need to build your own opinion of what you need, okay? Because when you go to social media, you're going to get every person commenting on the gym that they go to or the facility they go to and telling you it's the best. And it may be the best for them. It may not be the best for you. Now, I'm not here to bag out different types of facilities. I believe that every facility has its place. Everything works. Not everything works for everyone. So you need to find what works for you. How do you do that? Well, let's go through it. Let's talk about the ways that you can find the perfect facility for you. First of all, number one is you've got to ask yourself that deep question. Why have you not started already? Okay, so if you're in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s, and exercise is foreign to you, ask yourself why you have not started. Okay, is it because you don't know what to do? Is it because your time is limited? What are the reasons for you not starting? Because that will help you decide where you need to potentially start looking. So if you don't know where to start, I'm going to tell you now, don't join a 24/7 gym, because when you join a 24/7 gym, you're kind of left to your own devices. All right, you might get a little welcome, etc. I recently was on holidays on the Gold Coast. The hotel gym that I was at was pretty average. So I was like, I wonder if there's a local gym that I can find. And I found a great little gym. But through my entire process, I did not talk to one member of staff. And I was there for 7 days. Okay. I signed up using their app online and I just walked in. And I know what I'm doing. Hey, I'm a fitness professional. So I know what I'm doing. And I just walked in and started doing my thing. Did not once speak to a staff member. So if we're using that as kind of the baseline, if you don't know what you're doing, if fitness is foreign to you, then joining a local 24/7, as much as it might be the cheapest option, may not be the best move for you. You might be better off finding a group fitness facility, starting with a personal trainer. Yes, they're more expensive options, but at least they're the options you're actually going to do. It doesn't matter how much you're paying if you're paying for your exercise, Okay. If you're not doing it, it's costing you more than what the actual investment is. 24/7 gyms are great for those people that are super flexible with when they can work out. They know what they're doing, okay? And they don't necessarily need to be guided through, okay? They like training on their own. They might have a few people that they see in the gym every now and then where they say, "G'day," all right? But generally it's headphones on, world off. I'm going to train for my 45 minutes and I'm out, okay? For me, when I was younger, I joined my first gym when I was 17, okay? And that's what it was like. It was pay your money and go for it. It was $30 a month back then. It was one of the old BC, the body clubs. That's how old I am. So that became Zest, and I believe it's now called Definition, right, here in WA. So I joined them. That's where I started. And I taught myself. Well, actually, the first gym I joined was the gym in my dad's back shed. That's where I taught myself. We had a simple bench, a barbell, some dumbbells. The first book I ever bought was the Arnold Schwarzenegger Bodybuilding Encyclopedia, and I taught myself. The reason why I taught myself was because when I was a kid, I was the little guy that got picked on. I'm not going to say I was bullied, but I was an easy target, right? So my thought process was, well, let's get stronger. And that's how it started. Started in the back shed and then joined my first gym when I was 17. Joined with a mate, so we would train together. That was also obviously a big thing for support. But I was also going there on my own and, had my program that I'd written myself and just got in and did it. But that's not for everyone. So then you've got your group training studios. Now, these can be a fantastic option for those that don't necessarily want to have to think too much. I operate a group training facility, a small group training facility, Beyond Limits, great facility, check it out. Okay. When you walk in, first and foremost, generally the person that is there knows who you are. That's a big plus, right? Walking in where someone knows where you are. You have a feeling of belonging straight away. The workout is already pre-prepared. You know exactly what you're going to be going through. You may not know how to do it yet, but it's already pre-prepared. So you don't have to think. 24/7 gym, it's leg day. You walk in, I'm going to hit the back squats and all of the squat racks are taken. What do you do next? Many people don't have that foresight yet. All right. Group training studios, generally the workout is designed so that you don't have to wait for equipment. Depending on the style of facility will depend on the level of qualification of the staff that are involved. So, it could be, you could be learning how to move off a TV screen. You could be learning direct from a personal trainer. You could be learning from a master trainer, but you'll be learning from someone. This is also potentially a great benefit. It's almost like having a PT in a group environment. You're training with other people, which can be really, really motivating. Okay. And often those people will become your friends because you all train at the same time. In our facility, we have our 5 a.m. crew, we have our 5:45 crew, we have our 6:30 crew. They're generally always the same. We have our 9:15 mums, and then we have our evening crew. They're generally always the same people with a few drop-ins here and there, depending on shift work and things like that. But you get to know people. So you build a circle of friends. You get to feel a bit more comfortable around people. And I always like to think that if you've got motivating people around you and the gym is a very uncomfortable place, then you're getting comfortable getting uncomfortable. Okay. What else can I say about those kind of group kind of facilities? Like I said, you can walk in, the workout's already worked out for you. You're generally not going to have to wait for equipment. You've got people around you that are probably very like-minded, okay? You're going to get a great workout. You're going to have what I feel is a sense of belonging, okay? As I got older, I stopped the 24/7 stuff, all right? And I started to seek out the group facilities because I wanted to be around people. which for me was super important. The downside of a group training facility generally is you're training on their schedule. So you can't just pop in whenever you want. All right. They are specific class times and you need to basically book in for those classes. The other thing is you've got to pick the right facility or group. If you do want the group training facility, you've got to pick the right one for you. So is it CrossFit that you're after? Is it functional strength and conditioning, similar to CrossFit? Are you looking for a bit more of a high intensity conditioning style facility? Are you looking for a pure strength facility? What are you actually looking for? And again, that will come back to your goal. What is your actual goal? Your goal should not be, I want to lose weight. Because when you join a gym, you're probably going to start eating more. However, it is going to be the catalyst for you to start to change your habits. That's for another episode. So what kind of facility do you need? That's going to be based on your schedule. If your schedule doesn't allow you to train at certain times, all right, and it's a bit all over the place, then a 24/7 facility is going to be your best bet there. From there, if it's a 24/7 facility, do you need to seek out a personal trainer? I believe personal training is not a forever thing. I believe the role of a personal trainer is to educate you, teach you how to do things, keep you accountable. And if you need that long term, then stay with that personal trainer. But if you get to a point once you've learnt, all right, and you feel comfortable and you're like, you know what, I'm ready to do this on my own, then that personal trainer has done their job in my eyes. They've actually, let's call it, they've unleashed you to be your best self. You now know what you need to do. They've taken you from that beginner to now a competent gym goer. All right. And that is super important. And I believe that is one of the top roles of a personal trainer. So you've got to find the right kind of facility that works for you. It's also got to be convenient, right? So you've put it out on social media and everyone's commented, and half of these facilities are 20 or 30 kilometers away from either your place of work or your home. Statistics show that you will only travel 8 kilometers, which is about maybe 12 minutes to get to your gym, whether that be work or from home. All right. So anything further away from that, generally, you're probably not going to be as consistent at. That's not to say there aren't some fantastic facilities. And if you are looking for something niche, you may need to travel that little bit further. Okay. But generally, for the general population, for the mums, the dads, you know, the young professionals that are just looking to get better at everyday life, maybe lose a few kilos here and there, build some muscle, feel better about yourself, you want something convenient. And I get that. So you've got to ask yourself these questions. Where am I at? How far am I willing to travel? And do I need to train on my time or can I train on someone else's time? Once you know those things, then you can start to find the correct facility. So you might then ask on social media, hey guys, what's the best 24/7 gym in blah, blah, blah area, your local area? Hey guys, I'm looking for a group training facility. What's the best one? Be a little bit more specific. You need to get specific. And again, this is where the fitness industry has probably failed you because you don't know what kind of options are out there. So that can be a way for you to start your journey. Once you've done that, once you've started to nail down what you're looking for, do a trial. Don't get locked in straight away. Okay. Try not to get locked in at all, really. But do a trial. Most facilities will offer a trial. That's my dog making that noise. Okay. I believe this is super important because number one, my goal as a fitness business owner and as a personal trainer is to help you get results. If that's not my goal, what am I doing, right? I'm in the wrong. If I'm just about the dollars and cents, okay, then I won't offer you a trial. You just need to sign up, pay your membership, and I'll lock you in for 12 months. I'm not into that. I want you to make sure that you've joined the right facility for what you need. And you're not going to know that until you start to step in. All right. So find a trial. Most places will offer a 7-day free trial. A lot of places will offer a paid longer trial. And I recommend the paid longer trial because I don't believe 7 days is enough. I also think that if you don't spend money on it, you're not going to commit to it either. Okay. There's like an emotional response when we actually outlay money and we're like, I paid for this, I'm going to use it. But a 2-week, maybe a 4-week option is a great way to start to see if it's going to work in your routine. Can you fit it in? Because remember, we're adding something new. When it comes to our 5 pillars of health, which I'll go through in another episode, exercise is the one thing that adds time to your day. You need to find that 45 minutes or prioritize that 45 minutes, that hour and 15 if we consider traveling time, etc., whatever it may be, something that wasn't there before. So you need to make sure it's going to work with your routine. Or can you change your routine to allow for you to start your fitness journey in whichever facility you think is the best for you? Don't be afraid to trial a few out before you make your decision, but make sure you make that decision. All right. Super, super important. Guys, that's it from me for today. That is episode 1 of Unleashed. I hope you got a little bit of value out of it. We're trying to break down some myths. I'm trying to give you some value, some tips on how you can change your health, your lifestyle, your mindset, your fitness. And I look forward to sharing with you episode 2 later on. Take care. Bye.